Blues, we're gonna get down and dirty for you. Yeah.
Hammond Report for Sunday, February 13th of 2022. Jon Hammond here. And that's Lutz Buchner, the late great tenor saxophonist and a good friend. Yeah. Thank you very much, folks, for joining me once again for some more of my music and stories. I'm going to get down for you today. Yeah, let's. And Joe Berger, a.k.a. the Burgermeister. Yeah. Joe can make the hair on a dog stand up when he hits those harmonics. I've seen it many times all over the world. Heinz Leischer's back there on the drums. Here's truly Jon Hammond at the organ. We're in a very special place right here. This is the Indra Music Club. It's the first place that the Beatles played in Hamburg. And it's pretty much exactly like it was back then, about 1961 or 62. Yeah. And I spent a lot of time in Hamburg, my home away from home. We had a lot of beautiful friends there, and many of them were with us that night. It was so smoky in the club that I could barely see my hands on the organ. That's how smoky it was. Yeah. That was nice, Joe. I'm gonna play some organ here for you. Yeah. Well, I dug out some old photos from storage. Been going through them this weekend. Somebody broke into our storage place and cut the lock off it. Hammond Report for Monday, February 14th, 2022, Valentine's Day. This is Jon Hammond, the organ player and accordionist. I'm back with my daily Hammond Report. Thank you very much, folks, for tuning in once again for some more of my music and stories. Yeah, I love this clip. Beautiful musicians in Australia. We had an impromptu session in Gold Coast, Australia at the Australian Music Association Convention on the last day, just at the end of the day, right before things wrapped up. We grabbed some instruments and convened over at the Electro Voice stand. And our friends at Electro Voice were very kind to plug us into their beautiful equipment. That's Chris Connolly on guitar. Very smooth, excellent guitarist, top notch. And Simon Ert with just one drum and the brushes. He swings harder than a lot of cats with an entire drum kit. And he doesn't have to take too many drums when he takes that setup. It's beautiful. He came right over from the next stand and I grabbed a Hammond SK1 organ from Bernie's Musicland stand and Somewhere we got a keyboard stand and some cables plugged in. And we're playing the great composition from the late great Duke Ellington, Satin Doll, known all over the world. I'll play some organ here for you. Oh yeah. Well, I hope everybody's doing okay out there. We had just a spectacular, stunning sundown last night. Very appropriate for Valentine's Day Eve. The sky looked like it was on fire, red and orange and blue. I'm a sunset freak, you know. So I took some pictures, enjoyed these pictures from California. Spotlight on the drummer, Simon. Wow. So cool. I hope I get to play with these cats again. Right now, it's kind of dicey, the international traveling. I had a gig this morning. Of course, I had my KN95 mask on at all times. I take a brand new one to every gig. And it's good to keep yourself safe, and especially also for the people around you. And as I left the gig, they were serving a beautiful lunch. So it's good to be on a gig. And actually, I've been gigging quite a lot, but just solo. But we do have some band things planned for the summer. So everybody be good out there. I want to wish everybody a very happy and healthy Valentine's Day. I'm going to take you home with this one. Before I slide out of here, I just want to say one last thing, and that is, bye-bye now. Hammond Report for Wednesday, February 16th of 2022. This is Jon Hammond, the organ player and accordionist. I'm at the Hammond SK Pro organ right here, one of the newest Hammond organs. And I want to thank anybody who's here for joining me once again for some more of my music and stories. Playing a little bit of Georgia here. Georgia on my mind. Georgia is on a lot of people's minds lately, don't you know? And I've been there several times. Atlanta, Augusta, yeah. And I'll tell you a little story about when I was there. Well, The most recent one, I was there for a jazz convention, hanging out with some jazzers. And I saw my friend Tom Bones Malone there. And Bob Crenshaw, the late great bass player who played on the Sidewinder with Lou Morgan. And he was on many of the Sesame Street TV shows, music tracks, you know. Hard to believe he's gone. Well, I was at the Days Inn for another convention, and across the street was the Fox Theater, and George Burns was playing there. So I thought, well, hell, I gotta go across the street and see if I can catch him on the way out, because I really can't give up on that. So I went to the door that nobody was hanging out at on the other side, and he came out. He said, "Good going, kid." And he did this picture for me. That's it for today, folks. Say one last thing before I slide out of here. And that is, bye-bye now. Hammond Report for Thursday, February 17th of 2022. Jon Hammond here, the organ player and accordionist. I'm back with my daily Hammond Report. Thank you very much, folks, for joining me once again for some more of my music and stories. Well, there's a lot to unpack on this clip here. The tune I wrote in Paris, France, 1981. It's called Lydia's Tune. I recorded it on my very first album with the tenor saxophonist you see there, Todd Anderson, on the original recording. And here we have Chuggy Carter on congas and percussion. Joe Berger in the string section back there on the guitar. Todd Anderson, of course, on tenor. And Ray Grappone on the drums, who I met in 1987 on a TWA flight. And yours truly, Jon Hammond. I had my 1959 B3 Hammond organ. Well, the story is, I got to Paris in September of 1981 after a very quick flight on the Air France Concorde jet from JFK to Charles de Gaulle. It took 3 hours and 26 minutes. And it was an enjoyable 3.5 hours. And it really didn't hit me till I got to Paris what I was really doing there, because I had never traveled internationally. It was my first trip overseas. And of course I got there and everybody was speaking French, and I couldn't speak maybe 5 words in French, but I looked kind of French, so people would come up to me and start speaking in French, and I did my best to reply, but as soon as they heard me speak my American English, that didn't go over real well. But you know, I spent 56 days over there. Yeah, by the time I left there, I really fell in love with Paris. and I spent a good amount of that time in the Hotel Rue de Seine on the left bank there, where all the art galleries are. And that's where I wrote this tune, in my hotel room, on a little keyboard that I had bought over there, Yamaha. You could only play, peck out the notes, and I wrote this tune. One note at a time, but it stuck to the wall. It came into my head after I met this sad girl in a famous cafe, Cafe Au Mago. Her name was Lydia, and so that's how I got the name. I don't know where she is today, but the song is still here. And you know what else is still here? The audio recorder that I recorded this session on, and that was part of the reason I put this special session together in the Ellington room, was because my friend Willie Herman helped me, and along with some other engineers as well, too, from California Historical Radio Society, to refurbish my original Nakamichi 550 Dekizia on top of my Leslie speaker there. I'm playing some Hammond B3 here for you on my 1959 Hammond B3. Got 3 microphones in there, some Sennheisers. And I bought that machine in 1976 on West 45th Street at Harvey Electronics. $550 in cash. And that was a lot of dough back in 1976. Still a lot of dough. But I made the investment, and I did some really memorable recordings with that machine. And it went a lot of places with me. My friend Bruce Hatch eventually replaced the record heads at his company that was called Sound Genesis in San Francisco. And I still own this machine, and this is how the audio was recorded. And this is a snappy version of the tune. I go way back with all these cats, and it was really a pleasure to do this. And I want to thank all the folks who came out to hear us play live. And my friend Tom Pistone brought his wife and friend all the way from down Long Island, and enjoyed it with us. And I know Tom from the NAMM organization. And it was just a really beautiful night. So it's a pleasure to bring it to you. Whenever you hear this melody, it's one of my tunes that has gotten around pretty good. I hope everybody's staying safe out there. I want to thank you once again for checking out my Hammond Report. I haven't heard too much feedback, but I know there's a few folks out there listening. I'm going to bring it home with this one. Lydia's tune on the Hammond Report. I just want to say one last thing. Today, that is. Bye now.
Thank you very much. One, two, three. All right, that was good. That was a good one, man. That's beautiful.
Hammond Report.
Whenever you hear this tune, you know that it's time for the Jon Hammond Show.
For Saturday, February 19th.
Come up, have some cake.
39 years
Rent. And I
on
dedicate
cable
this to
TV,
everybody that
folks.
your rent will
Thanks
never
for
be
tuning in.
late.
Once again, for some more of my music and stories. We're going to play my theme song for you right now. And it's called Late Rent. I paid for the original recording session with the rent money. That's how I got the name. On tenor saxophone, Peter Kloman. Remember that name? Kloman, K-L-O-H-M-A-N-N. Peter Kloman. He's tearing it up on the tenor. Joe Berger on guitar. We go back a long way, the Burgermeister. And that's B-E-R-G-E-R. And back down the drums, my longtime friend and musical partner, kicking me for a long time since over 30 years ago at the Jazz Connect. That's Giovanni Toto Galino on the drums. We're in the Jazz Keller down below the ground in Frankfurt, Germany. Yeah, Peter's gonna take one for you on the tenor. We are hoping to be back there in April, at the end of April, but I'm still waiting to hear back. Things are a little bit iffy, because of the pandemic, and very sadly, we lost main man Eugen Hahn, main man of the Jazz Keller, my longtime friend for over 30 years. Son and daughter-in-law and everybody there keeping it going. We're hoping that we can play there under the new management. I have not heard back yet, but anyway, we did it for over 30 years, so I had a good long run there. And I miss all my friends in Frankfurt. And Mr. Toulon, the master baker. Every year he cooked me a beautiful happy birthday cake. It's going to be my birthday next month. And every year the cake got bigger and bigger. The last one was so big and so loaded with chocolate. It was just amazing, And a beautiful guy too. He opened up a new cafe and restaurant. And let's see, where is it? It's in the Romer Platz. That's right in the center of Frankfurt, across the street from where me and Giovanni used to play at the Berliner Straße. So we definitely have to go visit there. Mr. Toulon's a beautiful cat. He brought the cake the last time and just parked for a few minutes upstairs, and they gave him a parking ticket. I couldn't believe it. But we tightened him up on the ticket before we split Frankfurt. I couldn't let him have that to pay for the parking tickets. Are expensive, and especially in euros. Burgermeister on the guitar. Special guitar that built for him by our friend Jeff from JJ Guitars in England. And he's got a few of them now too. Well, I know Joe's gonna be there, and I'm hoping to get over there. And Peter and Giovanni are already over there. Yeah, I'm gonna play some organ now for you. I can't believe I've had that little organ now for over 10 years. I've been touring with it. Yeah, still playing gigs. But with the mask on, solo, haven't done any band gigs since the pandemic. So it would be nice to see the cats on the bandstand. And in the beginning of June, we will be playing in Anaheim, California at the NAMM show. It's rescheduled, and it's going to be a big reunion there. The Musikmesse, I did 33 years there. Supposedly, it's going to happen at the end of April. So, let's see what happens, everybody. In the meantime, whenever you hear this song, You know I'm around somewhere. Late rent. And you know that thing called Shazam? Apple bought it. And sometimes people do hold up their device and play some of my songs in there to see what it is. And then I get the Apple report that tells me how many Shazams I had. So folks, Shazam me. I got a lot of songs out there. And you can find them all over the place. Apple iTunes, Amazon, Rhapsody, radio, TV, every Friday night late at 1:30 in the morning, the Jon Hammond Show. Don't you know? 39th year. I was on a few hours ago. I'll be back. We're going to bring it down. We'll bring it down here in Frankfurt. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. Come back tomorrow for another Hammond Report. This is Jon Hammond. Check it out. Giovanni gonna take it home. Get me, Giovanni. One more time. Oh yeah. I'm going to introduce the cats to you right now.
Giovanni Toto Bellino.
Giovanni.
Yeah, Giovanni. Joe Berger,
The Burgermeister.
How about it for Peter Cloman? Peter Cloman.
Thank you, Tino, for running the camera.
We're going to take a final pause and please, wait. I want to ask somebody, is there a doctor in the house? Is there one doctor in the house?
Doctor of Love.
Doctor of Love,
can
Tino
you perform a
says.
surgery for us right now? We have
A patient. Waiting.
we have a chocolate
neck.
cake up here. Somebody
It's the cake.
Because I'm not, if I do it, it'll be a mess, you know.
Don't you know?
We need a professional, you know. But there's cake enough for everybody, you know, from the best baker here. Thanks a lot for coming, everybody. We're going to be right back and enjoy the cake. And thank you very much. Don't
Bon
miss it.
appetit. One last thing. That is, bye-bye now.